So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another little epic podcast with your host, Tamir25. That's me, guys. That's me. I'm Tamir25, and welcome back to another podcast. That's right, we're back with more awesome podcasting just for you awesome people. Hopefully, you guys will join us in today's little discussion that we're going to have. We've got some awesome lineup for you guys to get involved with. If you feel passionate enough to talk about any of this, please be sure to drop it down in the chat right down below. Before we begin, obviously, we got to do a couple of shout-outs. We got the infamous ZentTM over at youtube.com. Welcome over from YouTube. First person to kick in the door with the first like, the first view, and the first comment. That's right. Is infamous Zen. Also, not forgetting the second in command. We got Brian Lloyd, everybody. Welcome, Brian. Welcome back. I'm sure Brian will be interested in some of the conversation we're going to have today on today's lineup on the podcast. Also, not forgetting to say a massive thank you to my guest today. We have got the undisputed, fantastic Exodus D, everybody. Welcome, Exodus.
Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? It's your boy.
It's your boy Exodus, everyone. Welcome. So anyway, before we can start, obviously, we've got to say a massive thank you to the sponsors. As always, big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming. Also, the infamous people over at CD Keys. We got Razor.com up in here. And not forgetting the infamous T4 Army merch. That's right. Did I tell you guys about free shipping? Currently got free shipping running from the 4th to the 7th. If you guys want to grab yourself something awesome and get it delivered for free, worldwide delivery, then please be sure to head over there right now. We got free shipping worldwide. All you got to do is type in the discount code, which is actually on the website, so you can't go wrong. Also over at YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, we got the infamous G2A.com, and not forgetting this G4G and Streamlabs, keeping those donations rolling in nice and smoothly to my pocket. Thank you very much, G4G and Streamlabs. Obviously, today we're back with the podcast as always, and I know before I begin, I've got to say an apology. So, I'm very sorry for those of you who did not know about me last week. If I haven't been around, if I haven't been streaming, and all the rest of it, I apologize. Okay, I was busy. I obviously, unfortunately, for some of you, I have a life, and having a life means sometimes YouTube takes a backseat, and I'm not always able to stick to my schedule because I get tired, or I have extra things to do, and then I can't even make up the streams because the week's just running out. So apologies for last week, for the Saturday and for the Super Sunday streams. I know you guys never see me miss the Super Sunday, but hey, shit happens, and then you got to deal with it. But anyway, we're back on the podcast as always. I have been playing. I know people see me come online playing a little bit of games, but I haven't been live streaming. It's just I've only had a couple of minutes here and there, and I've just been wanting to unwind a little bit. So I haven't really had much time. But for your topics today to think about, things that you may know about, things you may not know about. We got Disney's new Pride ears. For the new Pride Parade. If you guys don't know about it, Disney has released a brand new Mickey Mouse ears for the Pride LGBT, from what it looks like, targeted market. Also, we're going to be talking about Bill Cosby, and he's going away for possibly life at 80 years old. Jake Paul getting sued for $2.5 million from his last a house that he had where he caused all the mayhem, which he doesn't seem to somehow remember. Also, we're going to be talking about the YouTuber that fed homeless people Oreos filled with toothpaste. That's right, everybody. Things are just going to get better. And we're going to end off with the best topic we could even talk about. And that, obviously, is Fortnite. That's right. Fortnite is going to university. That's right. You can now take an actual degree in Fortnite. So it's part of a scholarship program, and we'll be talking about all that at the end of today's podcast. So please join us, stick around, stay with us. Let us know what you think in the conversation down below. In the comment section, obviously, you can type away and we'll read it out if it's relevant to what we are talking about. So to start off, sorry, let me just try and eat my tongue. To start us off, we are talking about, obviously, Disney. There's two sides to this coin, and I'm going to talk about both sides. So, from Natural News, we've got Disney's going all in for LGBT indoctrination of children with pride ears. The Magical Kingdom has now joined the left cult. So, that's one side of the coin. Okay, this side of the coin from Natural News doing its part to help expedite America's pretentious downward spiral into absolute depravity. The Walt Disney Company has reportedly introduced a brand new line of rainbow-colored Mickey Mouse pride ears at its Disneyland and Disney World theme parks that openly celebrates homosexuality, transgenderism, and many other colors of the gender and sexuality spectrum. According to the Daily Wire, visitors at the two parks will now be able to show their support for sexual degeneracy and moral bankruptcy. I can read. Simply by purchasing a pair of hyper-pigmented ears for around $18 a pop, which they can then parade around the park for all families and children to see. The latest in your face show of political force by the LGBT mafia. These so-called Mickey Mouse rainbow love ears feature embroidered Mickey Mouse gloves in the shape of a heart, colored in with the iconic strips of LGBT pride. In case this isn't loud enough, the ears also feature top to bottom rainbow stripes in a vivid gradient from red to purple. Though the Walt Disney Company didn't make an official announcement about the new product line, many visitors to the park have been posting pictures of the pride ears on social media. One individual in support of the move captured her photo of the pride ears with hashtag fabulous mouse. The world's fabulous, just like the rainbow, representing another cultural element hijacked by the LGBT community, or mafia, as they say. Many liberals are already gushing with praise in response to the decision by the Walt Disney Company, including Curtis M. Wong over at the Huffington Post. Wong wrote that the release of these new Disney souvenirs is a dream come true for many. That's one side. Okay, that's one side. The other side of this story is Disney unveils rainbow Mickey Mouse ears just in time for Pride. As you guys can see, there's a lot of Pride members on that thing, which says, we took our son to Disney for the first time. So Disney fans can now wear their Pride on their ears. Earlier this month, the company, which has been steadily increasing in its representation of LGBTQ community in television and film, debuted rainbow-colored Mickey Mouse ears for sale at the US theme parks. The ears arrived just ahead of Pride Month in June. The merchandise has been spotted by both California's Disneyland and the Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Images of the ears, officially known as the Mickey Mouse Rainbow Love Hat, have popped up across social media as of late. However, it doesn't appear among the items for sale on the official Disneyland or Walt Disney World website. There's another example for you guys to enjoy. That's right. And this is kind of like what they look like. That's right. Interesting ears. Interesting choice of ears. Meanwhile, actor, singer, and YouTuber personality Joey Garcia wore a pair of rainbow-printed ears in a video posted Monday that documented a recent trip to Disneyland and his boyfriend, Daniel Prida, and Daniel's nephew, Luca. The clip, which can be viewed above, had received over 260,000 views as of Wednesday morning. Never gonna happen to my video, even if I've got this in my fucking thumbnail. It would not happen. Travel vlogger Geo Spano also picked up a pair during a recent visit to the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. The cap, Spano said, retails at the park for $17.99. That's right. Get yours today. Disney has always enjoyed a sizable LGBTQ following, and its theme parks have been the setting for a number of same-sex proposals and weddings over the years. Still, the company has never officially sanctioned gay days, an annual pride-like celebration that draws thousands of queer visitors to its US resorts each year. So having the rainbow, which has become an associated with LGBTQ pride, adorned on the most iconic of Disney souvenirs, will no doubt be a dream come true for many. So if you guys didn't catch what I'm talking about here, you can kind of see the two sides to this actual story. The first side being there is obviously one side of the equator where people are, from the way it reads, they are against this release of this the Mickey Mouse is because it's, I guess, showing young innocent people, that like children for example, that it's okay to be queer, or it's okay to be gay, or it's okay to have a different opinion on gender or on your sexuality or on what you find attractive, and so on and so forth. And then you've got this side of the fence, which is celebrating the fact that this actually exists. So the question is, why has it taken so goddamn long for these ears to come out? One. And two, is there still such a stigma with this whole thing? You know, I mean, from what I understand, like, to be honest with you, the way I look at things is, if it doesn't affect me personally, if it's not going to have an actual impact on me, like, say, for example, if a man tries to put his dick on my face, I'm going to have a slight problem with that. But if he wants to put his dick on someone else's face, that's not my problem. That doesn't affect me directly. So then I'm just like, dude, whichever way you swing, it's up to you. So for me personally, it's a choice. The way I look at it is that you could either choose to wear the hat if you're part of the LGBTQ community, whether you are part of the community as an actual transgender or gay or whatever it is, phobic genre, or you could choose not to wear it if you're not down with that. It would be either or. There shouldn't be this sort of stigma brought about where there is, like, you know, oh, they're trying to force us to wear this stuff, and then they're trying to force us not to wear this stuff. For me personally, I don't really see the point in pointing out these differences. It's going to attract certain people to wear it, and it's going to attract certain people that obviously aren't for it not to wear it. Personally, I wouldn't wear it, but you never know. My daughter might like to wear it because of the colors. It may not necessarily be for the reason, but she might just like the way it looks, you know. And I think what we have to understand, and the thing I try to get across to a lot of people, is we have to be less stigmatized and less prejudiced on these kind of things, in the sense of we shouldn't let something so simple become such a big thing, in the sense that it's such a weird topic that some people find very difficult to talk about. But I like to break it down very easily, in the sense of we shouldn't be picking sides. You're going to get a sector of people who are going to wear, I mean, it's the same thing like from straight men, for example, watching lesbian porn. You know, it's very attractive to some men, which makes absolutely no sense, because if they were to watch two guys going at it, they wouldn't be feeling the same way, unless they were inclined to that, obviously. But they wouldn't be, they wouldn't be going the same way. So I don't really see, personally, I don't really see the problem in it. You know, you're either going to want to wear the hat, one, to support the actual community that it's for, two, just because it looks cool and you like to look different, or 3, you're not going to wear it at all because you don't either support the community or you hate the way it looks. So you only fall on one side or the other. But from what I can see is people are trying to create these sides so that then people have something to kind of fight each other against or whatever it is. It's totally bizarre in my personal opinion, but that is my personal opinion. But obviously the question gets passed off to you guys. What do you guys think? Obviously we've got Exodus D up in the joint. He's going to let us know what he thinks. But please, if you guys got an opinion on this particular topic, please drop it down in the comments down below. We'll be sure to talk about it if you guys have got something interesting to say. Obviously, I want to say a massive shout out to Slow Cool for joining us over at twitch.tv. So Exodus, what's your personal takeaway? I mean, are you seeing the two sides to this? Have you got a problem with these ears from Disney?
I have
What's up, Elijah?
absolutely no problem with ears. The ears in general look, honestly, they look pretty cool. And for big companies to support such a big community, it's like a good thing because it shows that they care about everybody, not just certain people. So in a way, it's good. But all the people that don't like it, they either just don't like it because they don't like it, or they don't like it because it's supporting that group, which is just completely unfair to that group. So
I mean, the thing is that surely that's not right though, is it? Like if people shouldn't be. I mean, if you don't like this hat because it's ugly, or in your opinion you don't like it because it doesn't look right, then I think okay, fine.
That's a different story.
But to stop but then to say like, oh, they shouldn't be promoting this because young vulnerable children are going to feel pressured to pick a sexual side, I think is a bit far.
It is. It's way too far. Yeah, go
on.
I was gonna say because Disney has a lot of kids shows and stuff too, on TV, and to see them doing this is gonna make them be like, oh, okay, so if I actually let's say the kid actually is gay, it doesn't make them feel as bad as if it was just them not promoting it at all. But since they're promoting it, it's such a big thing for both adults and kids. I feel like it's a good thing for Disney to be promoting that. It's hey, no matter what, you care.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, surely it would take a lot of pressure off kids as well if they see such a big corporation like Disney saying, it's okay. There's nothing.
Exactly.
You can, if you feel that way, then you should talk about it. Because I think a lot of the times, young people go through these transitions and these changes through their younger development time and feel very pressured during those times to be a certain way, like boys to be a certain way, girls to be a certain way, and then somewhere in the middle they end up losing themselves, and this is where we get a lot of I think a lot of suicides from the LGBTQ communities because they're not free to talk up if they feel that way. And I mean, me personally, I think it's a great thing that Disney are kind of showing this off in one sense. I mean, I don't personally have I'm not personally oh yeah, I'm gonna wear this hat because I'm gonna support this community. I don't have an actual involvement in that community. But the thing is, for those who do, those who promote it, those who want to show their sort of I'm not going to use the word support because then it would show that I'm not supportive. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that personally, when people used to have the you remember when Facebook had the notification that you could change it to have the rainbow colors on your face? I never had it. I didn't like it. It's not a question of because it was supporting a certain community. Because even when the Paris thing happened or the UK thing happened, and they had the United Kingdom flag that you could have over your, I didn't do any of it. I think it's fucking stupid personally, because if you want to show a community a real handout, a sort of a real friendship hand, is when you see somebody who's being targeted because of their gender or because of their sexual preference, and you're not standing up for that person, because at the end of the day, it's up to that person, it's up to that individual. Yes, I may have my opinion in the sense of I may say, they should, you shouldn't do this because of this or because of that, but that's my opinion. At the end of the day, I should stick up for that person. I shouldn't let other people walk over that person just because of whatever it may be. So for me personally, I don't really like the hat because I don't find it very attractive to wear. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing that, to be honest with you, even though I wear yellow glasses on a regular basis on my vlogs, but that's irrelevant. And I'm sure a lot of people see my yellow glasses and say, oh, fuck that, I'll never wear yellow glasses in my life. But the thing is,
I said the same thing.
yeah, but the thing is that I think those who are wearing it, you're either supporting the thing or maybe you're wearing it because you just like the design of it. Either way, it's cool.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really
Like for little
wrong
kids.
yeah, exactly, and I think it's really wrong that there's this two-way thing going on, with like there's actually obviously there's like this vindictive side that is trying to push this particular agenda, like making it seem a certain way, and then there's another side that is like trying to defend it, where and where this space shouldn't exist. Disney have decided that this is something that you can buy from their stores, on behalf of another company that's made it happen for the gay pride event that happens. And I don't see what the problem is. I mean, they did it here in Brighton last year. I was at the event, to be honest with you. I'm not gay, but I was at the event. Because the thing is, if you want to show real support, you gotta kind of show people that you're willing to stand up for them if they're different. Like I'm hoping people would stand up for me because I'm seen as different in certain countries, in certain communities. I'm seen as a freak. Like some people would see gay people as freaks. So I guess this is the big thing for me. I don't know. What do you think, Exodus?
Yeah, I just think just in general, like their whole community is like, I feel like they're like so close, but then like other people see them as like, no, that's wrong. But most of the time they don't like listen to other people. They just do them, and then whenever somebody comes along and like brings haters to them, they just like push it to the side. Like, nah, okay, I'm just not gonna listen to you.
I mean, do you
And I
find
feel like,
that? Yeah.
I was gonna say like for the ears, I feel like if I took Ireland to Disneyland and I bought her those, she would have no idea what it's about, but she'll just love the colors because it's so like bright and colorful. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
eventually,
Yeah.
like I would explain what it's about, and she's like,
I mean,
I have it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, it's very bright colors. Normally, children would wear these kind of colors anyway. But the thing is,
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's an actual issue with, um, like, is there a big stigma with supporting, the gay community?
I don't think there should be any problem at all. And for people that do have a problem, they just need to get their stuff figured out so they can support because in the end they're always gonna like outnumber you and like just do them and they're just not gonna listen to you. So you're for who's ever hating them or so who's ever hating on them will
Mm.
eventually just like kind of like be a like a ghost. Like no one will like no one will like talk to him or anything. They'll just like as if he's like a ghost and invisible.
And I guess like people that are gonna be sort of more tolerant and have more acceptance with this kind of thing, is gonna be people who obviously may have had some sort of prejudice against themselves in the sense of being attacked for being overweight or for being you know underweight, for being short, for being a certain color skin or a religion, or those kind of people are going to feel more sort of inclined to help people who are being discriminated against because they know the feeling. of feeling that way, I
exactly.
guess. I
Yeah,
mean
they
that.
know
Do
exactly
you
how I
think?
feel. Yeah, because like me as myself, like I was bullied for like being like overweight and stuff. So like every time I see someone like doing that to like anybody, no matter if they're gay, straight, or what, if I see anybody getting bullied in general, I'm just like I just get shocked, and then like I try to like go there and help people, help the person that's getting like bullied, and then like just
Mm.
like just try to tell the person that's bullying them. I'm like, this is not right. You should treat people the way you want to be treated. Would you want someone else to make fun of you for that? And then they're like, and yeah, most of the time they just fucking just walk away.
No, because I think you're definitely right. You hit the nail on the coffin,
Yeah.
really, with that. Because, I think until you're in a position where you actually you feel like a target, um, you won't ever understand what it would feel like to be a target. I guess if you're the all round perfect person who never gets any issues from anybody or anything like that, then you're never going to feel like there's a problem. But when you are that person that's getting targeted, and you feel that the limelight's always on you or on the community you represent, then I think it will actually cause a lot of problems. We did have a comment coming from Brian. He said, "Okay, the writer of that article is a bit biased, I must say." And I mean, I gotta agree with you, Brian, because I think the writer definitely was biased. I mean, uh, the thing is, I just wanted to present both sides of the argument, because obviously, even on this show, even people who watch the show, whether they're watching after or whether they watch it live, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And obviously, on this show, we try to get everybody's opinion, because whether there's no sense of you're right and I'm wrong or whatever it is. It's more of the sense of, this is what you believe and this is what you believe, but there is a middle point where we can all agree. There is, yeah, you might have the extreme of one end or whatever, but to be honest with you, at the same time, you would be in between. um Okay, fine. Also, is there anybody? If there's anybody else watching live, obviously, the question gets passed up to you guys. Please let me know in the comments down below. We'd love to read your comments live, or whether you're watching us
True.
on playback. Please drop it down below. We'd love to hear from what you guys think in the community who are watching the podcast today, especially things about whether you can actually see there is a difference with the communities, in the sense of, is there enough people supporting this community, or the right people maybe even supporting this community, and in the same aspect is, do you support this kind of stuff? I mean, do you feel that it's wrong, or do you think it's right, or are you in the middle? Let me know in the comments down below. Exodus, before we move on, is there anything additional you wanted to add before we move on to the next topic?
No, I got all my points across.
All good, all good. Right, so coming up next, peoples, we got another beautiful article. That's right, Bill Cosby. If anybody as old as I am, you would remember the infamous Bill Cosby. Absolutely hilarious guy. Totally funny. But Bill Cosby found guilty in sexual assault trial in milestone for Me Too era. A comedian 80 faces possible 15 to 30 years in prison after trial. Verdict in 2004. Incident follows dozens of accusations against Bill Cosby. That's right. The guy literally assaulted, I don't even know how many people, but we'll find out in a minute. But in a verdict that seemed destined to stand as a major milestone in the Me Too movement against sexual assault, the once beloved actor and comedian Bill Cosby was convicted by a Pennsylvania jury on Thursday of drugging and molesting an acquaintance in 2004. A lot of women did come forward to say that he did this or did that, but only one of the victims actually, they actually only found him guilty for one of the victims, from what I understand. The jury announced its verdict after fewer than 2 days of deliberation. Cosby, 80, faces a possible maximum prison sentence of 15 to 30 years in prison. Cosby stood up and erupted after jurors left the courtroom. The Associated Press reported he used an expletive to refer to district attorney Kevin Steele, who was arguing to revoke Cosby's bail, and shouted, "I'm sick of him." The verdict came as vindication for dozens of women who have publicly accused Cosby of sexual abuse, harassment, or attempted abuse. A trial on the same charges last summer ended in a mistrial with a hung jury. A request by prosecutors to revoke Cosby's bail was denied. The court ordered Cosby to remain living in Montgomery County until his sentencing. Cosby was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting Andre Constant, a former basketball player who was 30 years old at the time of the alleged incident. Cosby said the two had consensual relationship. So Bill Cosby gets done like there was no one else being done. So before we obviously kick off with what everybody's thinking, I got a little video I want to play for you guys of the verdict. Of the verdict from the jurors, and some brief explanation. So have a little listen to this. Make sure you turn up your headphones, boys and girls, so you can hear it loud and clear.
We have shown from our record that money and power, or who you are, will not stop us from a criminal investigation or prosecuting a case. And what was revealed through this investigation was a man who had spent decades preying on women that he drugged and sexually assaulted, and a man who had evaded this moment here today for far too long. He used his celebrity, he used his wealth, he used his network of supporters to help him conceal his crimes. And now we really know today who was behind that act, who the real Bill Cosby was, and a jury has spoken with one voice.
And obviously this report was by The Guardian, and I'm just wondering if there's anything extra I want to add to this. Give me a second, let me just double check something down here. No, there's nothing else, I don't think. This was Mr. Cosby being taken away after he was after the jury came back. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the thick of it, to be honest with you. I mean, you're more than welcome to check out the article afterwards from The Guardian. And there's so much more news on what happened with Bill Cosby, but I want to keep it quite simple and short. The questions that we pass off to you guys is, do you know Bill Cosby before this came about? 1, 2. If you knew Bill Cosby, was you a fan of Bill Cosby's comedy as an actor and obviously as a TV star, I guess? And 3, it's obviously been found that he's guilty of a particular crime, and they've given like a number of 15 to 30 years. But the question that really bugs me really is, he's 80 years old. I mean, how much more has he got to live? 20 years, maybe 10. He's not very good. He's not got very great health, apparently, either. So, will justice be served? That's my question. Exodus D, tell me all about it.
Fucking 80?
Yeah, he's 80, dude.
Jesus, he's so fucking old. Anyways, I mean, I guess in a way I kind of do.
I mean, do you remember Bill Cosby?
I do. I watched a couple episodes of his TV show back when I was like 5.
Right.
like the reruns and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it. In order to really get into his comedy, because like for me, like his voice during like that stuff to me was like kind of annoying because like
Right.
he's got kind of like he sounds like he's trying to sound like a little kid to me.
I mean, the thing is, I think anyone who watched Bill Cosby after the 2000s or even 1996, 97, you know, that kind of comedy that he was trying to portray was kind of was dying. You know, it was that sort of like slapstick, you know, very thick layered. It's obviously a sitcom, you know, kind of acting, which died extremely. I mean, you know, we're talking about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air era and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's all around that kind of, you know, that kind of comedy where, you know, you're laughing. It's not really laughing. It's more like a smirk. It's like when you type LOL, but you're not really laughing out loud.
It's more of like a guilty laugh.
Yeah.
Or kind of like exactly. A pity laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is that kind of laugh. It's like that sarcastic, like, you know, is this guy real? But you know, I mean, yeah. Exodus. I mean, you say you've seen a couple of Bill Cosby stuff. I mean, you didn't. I take it from that you didn't really become a fan of his comedy.
No, not really.
But you had an idea. But you got an idea of how much sort of how big he was in the celebrity world.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, the dude's 80 years old, right? Some of this stuff that he's done he did it like years ago. I mean, he's 80 now. The guy that apparently he did the girl that he did this to was 30 at the time, and it was like when he was in his 40s or 50s. So
that's like 30 years. Like, what the fuck is the Statue of Liberty on that shit?
What I'm saying is that waiting so long to get this kind of verdict. Yeah. I mean, he's not even been sentenced yet. The sentencing is between 15 to 30 years. But even if he gets the 30 years, the dude's 80 years old. You can pretty much say
he's gonna outlive that.
I mean, the thing is, whether people, I mean, there are people who are saying he's innocent. He's just being tried by the Illuminati or by some government conspiracy trying to shut down the artists or something. I don't know. But this is what is being said on one side. On the other side, you know, you got people saying, you know, the dude's he's been free. You know, he's done this crime, if he's guilty of the crime, which he's been found guilty of. Even if they give him 30 years, he's lived most of his life outside of a prison cell. He's lived a pretty comfortable life, you know?
If he gets 15, that's 95, dude. That's fucking... Exactly. That's still 80 years.
I mean,
even if nothing for him.
I mean, even if he gets 15
well, I mean,
years, right?
Something to the prison.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
If he would have got 15 when then it's now, because it's been 30, 40 years since it happened. So, like, he's gotten away with it for the past 30 or 40 years, and you give him 15. That's, like, literally, like, he's literally pretty much lived his whole life. Like,
I mean, the thing is, exactly, and he's lived his life well, you know, in that time. And the thing is, if they give him 15 years, he's not going to do the whole 15 years. They're going to let him out earlier because he's a fucking old guy. What is he going to do now, you know? But the thing is
15, that's 95.
The thing is, the way I look at it is that he's done a crime and he's got away with it. That's the way I look at it. You know,
basically, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do you remember about the Jimmy Savile issue that happened with Jimmy Savile a little while ago? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't even know who that is, to be honest.
So Jimmy Savile was like a prolific child abuser. He was a pedophile, and he was at one point like the top man in over here in the UK called the BBC, and he used to. I mean, he does some horrible shit, dude. He does some horrible shit. But the thing is, basically like Bill Cosby. The only difference is all his victims decided to come out when the guy decides to die. So the guy's died, and then they all these victims are coming up saying the guy abused them and did all types of weird shit to them and stuff. But What's gonna happen? What they're gonna do? It's too late. The guy's dead, and even these guys who are victims, they decided to come out so late. It's unreal. What's up, Dazed?
Yeah, it takes them so long.
Dazed, I know you're over at youtube.com. If you want to jump into the podcast, I've only got Exodus here with me. If you want to come in, just head over to Discord and just when you get over to Discord, I'll give you permission to join the podcast guest, so we can hear you some of the opinions you may have. If you're free to join us over at the podcast, that'd be great. So yeah, I mean the thing is, I just think it's ironic, that the guy is 80 years old.
Yeah.
What is he gonna whatever time he serves
He's
now?
got nothing left to lose.
It's not going to do anything. You're not taking anything
It's
away.
not. No. He's got nothing left to lose. He's already lived his whole fucking life pretty much.
I mean, 80 years old, dude.
A minimum 10 years minimum or max.
I mean, what do you think I'm getting off in an hour and 10 minutes? Oh, well, we'll be finished by then. So, Dave, be sure to type your be sure to type your comments down below so I can shout them out in the live stream. We're currently talking about Bill Cosby and the possible 15 to 30 years that he's going to have to serve. But is it really crime, sir? Is it really justice? Because the dude's lived near enough his whole life. I mean, most people, if I live to the age of 80, I'll be like, I think I've done it. I think I did it all. Yeah, I'll be ready to go. I'll be like, yo, show me where to sign. I'm done. I'm ready to hand in my cards. I'm good.
Show me my grave.
I mean, the thing is, and the thing is, Bill Cosby's lived a very, very comfortable life. I mean, a first-class life, the dude. And if anywhere he went, anyone who's seen his shows, if you could not miss the guy, because he was like Michael Jackson. You'd know him when you see him. It's I mean, look, Daze is talking from the other side of the coin. He's putting there, in reality, it's all because of money. So you see, I mean, I take it, Daze, you feel maybe he's innocent. And maybe this is a false charge. This is something that's been brought up to him. They waited how many years to talk? And this is the same thing we're saying. This is exactly what Exodus is saying as well as me. Is why, if something like this happened, if you're a victim, okay, to all the people out there who might be watching this show, okay, or listening to the podcast, if you become a victim, okay, of a crime, okay, any crime, if you wait 30 years or 40 years to tell someone about it,
don't bring it up.
Don't expect anything great to come from it, okay? Because the time for action is probably come and gone. Okay, it's probably come and gone. I mean, Exodus. I mean, is there anything you want to add? Anything else you want to add to this? Because this story is so bizarre. It's beyond me, to be honest with you. But anything you want to add, Exodus?
It's pretty much just like they may think justice is served, but like at this point, it's too long to have any type of justice. If this was like a murder case or something, that'd be totally different. But like, since this is for this is like, it's been too long. There's no point even bring like, there was no point for them to even have another trial.
You're right. I mean, the thing is, the first trial that he had was a hung jury, okay? Because they couldn't decide whether they could actually put the person who was making the accusations. They didn't know whether they could put the person at the place at the time and that Bill Cosby was there. So it was a hung jury. Yeah. They couldn't make their mind up. Then the second one, they say he's guilty now. But is the question, the thing that makes me, the question that keeps coming up in my head is, how can you be satisfied? I wouldn't be satisfied. I'd be fucking pissed. Even if you're like, we got him in the end. But it's at the end of the road. He's done everything he could have wanted to do.
Anyways.
Dude's gonna be dead soon. We're gonna be talking about his fucking funeral soon, But Dave's put on there, so they telling us they cried for 40 years every single day, and I'm sure they are married. They are full of shit. Now I understand some women want justice for things like that, but come on, Bill Cosby is not guilty. So from what I understand, if I'm not getting this wrong, Days is obviously suggesting that these accusations are false and that Bill Cosby has been found guilty of a crime that isn't actually provable. Maybe, I don't know. What's your opinion? My opinion, personally, I mean, I watched Bill Cosby's show all my life, and from the shows, I couldn't tell. I wouldn't be able to say like he's. I mean, if you look at Bill Cosby and you look at someone like Gary Glitter or someone like Jimmy Savile, if you look at just their mugshots, you know, if you look at Jimmy Savile, for example, you'd see that he looks like a predator, you know, like someone that would do some nasty shit. But I guess Cosby doesn't have that kind of face in my eyes, you know. But obviously, a lot of people came through. A lot of people came forward, made their opinions count. They found him guilty now of a crime. The thing is even if he did it, even if he didn't do it, 40 years later, the dude is nearly dead. He knows, even if he did do it, even in himself, if he knows he did it, he's got away with it. Okay, and those victims let him get away with it. Simple fact. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this anymore because this fucking thing is just weird. Okay, in my mind, it's just totally bizarre. Also, Electric Skateboard, what's up, dude? Welcome over at twitch.tv. Just wanted to do a quick shout out to him for joining us. He's a bit late today. Doesn't he look like a predator, Jimmy Savile?
He does. He does.
With those fucking glasses and the cigar.
I
would never let my kids near that dude. No way, dude. No way.
Never. I wouldn't even go near him, and I'm 19.
See, even Exodus could see, you know, he's a fucking, you know, and this guy, right, that guy that you're looking at, Exodus, he was, like, at one point, he was, like, second in command at the BBC, which is, like, the biggest TV network in the UK. And he was in charge of all the kids shows as well. So, I don't know.
Oh, anyway.
Anyway, moving on swiftly, we bring the infamous Jake Paul. That's right, the Paul brothers back in the news. I thought we'd get sick and tired of these fuckers, but looks like they're back. Anyway, I don't know if you guys remember, Jake Paul had a house. And he told his fans about the house, and then they came to that house, and they all went psycho. And he had the whole Team 10 and the what the fuck was his clan called? I can't remember what they were called. What were they called?
Team 10.
What did he call his?
You got it right.
What did he call them?
The Jake Paulers. Wait, his
that's
like.
It. Sorry, yeah, the Jake Paulers. That's right. How original. How fucking original. Anyway, what's up, Spade? So anyway, YouTuber Jake Paul is getting sued for $2.5 million. And here's why. We definitely saw this coming. So basically, if you guys don't remember, even if you don't watch YouTube, you've probably heard of the name Jake Paul and Team 10. That's it, Team 10. He is definitely one of the most well-known vloggers on YouTube. He has a home called the Team 10 House, where he invites other successful YouTubers to live in his house so they can create content together. His success was so incredible that at one point he had hundreds of people showing up at his home in Los Angeles. Not because he didn't advertise it, he did. He fucking advertised where he lived. That's why he had hundreds of thousands of people coming to his fucking home address. Anyway, last year, Jake and his brother Logan Paul were at the center of multiple scandals, which dented their reputation. Logan was at the center of a suicide forest scandal, and Jake was on the front of news for trashing his Team 10 house in Los Angeles. And there's the Team 10. And the irony funny about this particular picture of Team 10 is most of those people there don't actually are not part of Team 10 anymore, except for Snake Bitch and the two brothers. But everybody else has pretty much bailed on Team 10. Team 10 it consists of like 4 people now, I think.
Pretty much.
Just to kind of give you guys a refresher on what we're talking about here with why could Jake Paul be getting raped for 2.5 million on his previous accommodation, his mansion that he was in. Here is a little lowdown for you.
Story you will see only here on 5. Chris?
That's right, Rick and MB. He is a social media megastar. His name is Jake Paul. We should note he has been a
360p.
He's been a guest on the KTLA5 morning show, but tonight we visited his West Hollywood neighborhood because of complaints from neighbors. This is a story you will see only on 5. Social media and internet sensation Jake Paul thrills his fans with wild stunts and antics. Take your left hand off and push. The 20-year-old Disney actor is a pop culture powerhouse with 8.5 million followers on Instagram and YouTube. He rents a large house in an upscale West Hollywood neighborhood, and this tight-knit community has become the new setting for many of his pranks and performances.
That's right.
The neighbors hate me, but I'm still gonna flip and send it.
He apparently makes his address no secret, and that piece of information draws an endless stream of fans, mostly young girls, the day we visited, and their parents, to the property.
He's funny. Savage.
Savage?
Yeah.
A recent stunt involved tossing furniture into an empty pool and setting the pile on fire. Neighbors say flames eventually grew higher than the house, and as the pit was burning and smoking, they were fuming.
We used to be a really nice, quiet street, and now we're just this, like, war zone. We're families here, and we're more than happy to have them live here if they're respectful of their neighbors, but they're not.
But as neighbors living with this every day, we're fed up.
Look at him.
Shortly after we arrived, look who came out to greet us.
Jake, Channel 5.
Yeah, they're not subscribed.
Jake, Channel 5. Are we live?
Hablamos español también.
Oh, está bien. Te amo mucho.
Jake, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't crawl up there.
Why? Okay.
I just wouldn't do that. A lot of the neighbors are complaining. They're very upset.
No, why?
They say that you've created a living hell out here. That it's like a circus.
Yeah, it is.
All the fans.
I mean, but people
stunts,
like going to circuses, right?
What do you say to the neighbors, though, that are upset? And they're really upset.
No, I honestly...
Can't beat them, join them.
No, I'm honestly, yeah, it's terrible. It's a bad situation. No, I feel bad for them, for sure. There's nothing we could do, though. The Jake Paulers are the strongest army out there. Dab. I have one question for you.
Yeah?
What are those?
I guess he didn't like my shoes, but...
So that's just a brief review of why Jake Paul could be getting sued for 2.5 million from his previous landlord. And believe it or not, he even though he spoke about the fact that he bought this Team 10 house and blah blah blah, he didn't. He was renting it. Okay, he was renting it. So in his video, he openly displays his address, which caused groups of fans to mob the famous YouTuber's home. In the video above, you can see how Jake and his YouTube videos on pranks, destroying things, setting parts of his home on fire, which actually isn't his home to put on fire because it's rented accommodation. They put so it's no surprise that he is now being sued in regards to those pranks. According to TMZ, Jake is being sued by Cobra Acquisitions LLC for $2.5 million. This is the company that owned the house that Jake rented from them back in 2016. According to reports, he left the house completely in shambles, and now they're suing. He reportedly rented the LA home in from May 2016 to December December 2017 for $17,495 per month. That's right, $20,000 a month he was paying in rent. Just rent. What a fucking idiot. So this is just some of the antics that they got up to over there. So he allegedly burned marks in the pool, the landscaping was ruined, and the cabinets were left broken. Oh, and we're sure there were a lot more damages that haven't been disclosed yet. He did pay a $40,000 security deposit, but they believe that the damages are worth way more than that. Cobra Acquisitions are also stating that when they allowed Jake to move in, they were not made aware of his line of work and that they would be renting to someone who is notorious for causing trouble. Trouble, double trouble from the Paul brothers. So, really, the question that we pass off to you guys is, are you surprised? Are you surprised that this retard and his lonesome gang are being sued? It's not even their gang. It's just him, ironically, for $2.5 million for damages to that house. I mean, if you guys ever watched any part of those videos that Jake did during the Team 10 house thing, if I was renting that house to him, I would have fucking killed him, because the damage to repair the house would have been astronomical. It would have been in the hundreds of thousands. That swimming pool alone, him setting that swimming pool alight alone would have been, you need a new pool, because, you know, to clean it would be just, it would just be stupid. We got Days Out TV saying, I can't wait for CSG to beat his ass. It's going to be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it as well. So, obviously, the question I've got to pass off to you guys is, are you surprised that Jake Paul is being sued for $2.5 million for damages to that mansion he was renting, not actually owning, which he clearly said he was before? And also, do you think it's extortionate how much he's being fined, or do you think it's justified? Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching us live or if you're watching us on playback. We got the infamous Exodus D with us to share his opinion on the Jake Paul and us. I'm sure this topic is not going to stick around for very long. So Exodus, $2.5 million. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is it too much? Is it too little? And also, what would you do if this guy was renting your house?
But only get started up from the beginning. So the 2.5, I feel like, cause this is fucking California shit, and like stuff is more expensive out here than it would be like maybe out there in certain places. But like 2.5 seems right, but I feel like, I don't know, in my mind I feel like it should be either just slightly lower or slightly higher depending on who it is. But since the house is just so damaged, like I feel like the 2.5 should be a good number. And then if I was renting, I would have evicted him as soon as I saw all the videos and stuff.
I mean, the thing is, the dude set the pool on fire. I mean, that alone would be like
the second I saw that video, if I was renting him that house, the second I saw that video, I would evict him and then sue him.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. I mean, do you think the rent he was paying $20,000 a month, and he rented it from May to December? Do you think they made even enough rental income to even justify reinvesting back in the property again?
But I mean, I feel like what is that? It's like 18 months.
It's about 18 months.
30. All right, hold on. I did the wrong. I did 2,000 times 18. That's $360,000. That's nowhere near what it would. That's still 140,000 short of what the pool would cost.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
At that point, like, the rent is like nowhere near what the damage would be. So I would, if I was them, I would do like an extensive background check for whoever he like rented to next. And then if there's a person that's rented before, I would call the former landlord and see if they could take care of the place.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think the Paul brothers, no matter where they go now, they have built the stigma with them. You know, it's going wherever they go. It's going with them. Everybody knows that they are both trouble, and they will only give them an inch, because if you give them more than an inch, they'll take the mile instantly. What's up, Mr. Woodworth? Welcome to the podcast, dude. Please let us know in the comments below if you have any opinions on this particular subject or anyone else that we're going to be coming up next. So obviously, with Exodus, is anything you want to add to this? Anybody else want to add anything to this? Let me know. Anything, Exodus? Anything extra you want to add?
Yes, fuck Jake Paul, and I feel bad for the landlord.
I mean, on this occasion, this is the first time I would actually feel sorry for a landlord, because it was unexpected and they literally took the piss out of that house. I'm not even joking. It was. I mean, some of the stuff they did in that house was just so ridiculous. But obviously, you've got to keep those 10-year-old fans happy. That's how he was able to get to like 10 million subscribers, and I'm still at 1,700. That's how that happens, okay? I've got to do more crazy. I've got to set my house on fire, and then we'll get loads of views.
Can you do the switch to subscribers? Can you just get the 10 million and he gets like the 100?
I don't know. I don't think he'd ever. I mean, the thing is, even if he loses, even if he stops doing whatever. I mean, Logan stopped doing vlogging, but it hasn't dented. It hasn't dented his YouTube growth. It hasn't. It's just growing anyway. It's just people like me. If we stop doing our regular shows for like a week, everyone's like, "Oh well, that was good. Let's leave." So
everybody freaks out.
Everyone freaks out. Anyway, we're gonna move on with this story because Jake Paul. I've had enough of that. I really don't want to talk about the Paul brothers, but they are coming up they're coming up in next week's podcast, which is so annoying. But you know, hopefully
I'm not gonna be here next week.
But moving on, we have a very interesting story. This young YouTuber is facing prison. That's right, he's facing jail time for forcing a homeless man to eat toothpaste filled Oreos. So this kid decided to do a prank on homeless people. They say forced, but I don't see how you could force a homeless person to do anything, because they're homeless. They're pretty much going to do anything anyway for something. So you know, they thought they were getting Oreos, but they were filled with toothpaste. Anyway, here's the breakdown. Here's some backstory for you guys. This is the young man here. So, a Barcelona-based YouTuber faces up to 2 years in prison. 2 years in prison over a video in which he fed Oreos filled with toothpaste to a homeless man and joked that it would help him with a long overdue clean. Ren, known as Reset, to his more than 1 million subscribers, filmed himself filling the biscuits with toothpaste and replacing them in their packaging before feeding 5 of them to the homeless man in January last year. As the 52-year-old man, named by authorities as George L., ate the cookies, Reset jibbed, "Maybe I've gone a bit far, but look at the positive side. This will help him clean his teeth. I think he hasn't cleaned them since he became poor." Reset, a 20-year-old originally from China, earned more than $2,000 from YouTube for advertising linked to the video, which was viewed thousands of times. According to court documents reported by the Spanish daily El País, he now faces a charge of crime against moral integrity, with Spanish prosecutors seeking a sentence of 2 years in prison and an order to pay 30,000 euros in compensation to the homeless man. Well, the dude ain't gonna be fucking homeless anymore, is he? George L., originally from Romania, said he was ill after eating the toothpaste-filled biscuits. This was a quote, okay? I got sick after 5 minutes and threw up. He related, explaining that he had not known who Reset was and came to fear for his life.
Oh my god, that's such a fucking exaggeration.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, this is a picture of the. This is some pictures of the actual incident taking place. He's filling the Oreos with Colgate toothpaste and then giving it the whole packet to this homeless man, and he ate 5. And then he started vomiting after he had to eat all 5. I mean, you'd think after eating 1, there might have been a bit of a weird taste going on. The fact that, you know, your mouth feels fresh and clean after eating an Oreo, when it shouldn't do. It shouldn't feel at all nice. But this is the story. Is this poor little chappy, is it just a prank, bro? Or is it more than that? So, obviously, is there a moral integrity? I mean, we talked about this before with Logan Paul and with Jake Paul, in the sense of, should there be a limit? Should there be a point where you kind of should think, if it was me that was the homeless person, like if the YouTuber that did this, if he was the homeless person and someone did it to him, would it be a right thing to do? Would it be worth the views? You know, with you being the homeless person, would you be high-fiving him saying, nicely done, you got 2,000 euros for getting me to eat toothpaste-filled Oreos? If you feel that way, then you've done nothing wrong. But if you feel like actually it should have never happened, then obviously you fall into the other side of the ball court. But we pass the question off to you guys as always. Obviously, I'll bring my guest into here, Exodus D. If you guys want to add anything to the topic, please be sure to drop your comments down below. I'll be sure to read them out as we go on in today's little live podcast. Exodus D, does he need to go to prison for 2 years and pay 30,000 euros?
Before that, what the fuck is with foreign countries and arresting people for any fucking reason?
I mean, I know what you're thinking about from last week with the guy who's facing problems because obviously he's protecting himself at home. I know. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's like once you cross the sea and you come over to the European side of the world, things get a little bit crazy, and then when you go
in the US.
and then when you go away from Europe and you go further east, it gets more and more insane in the sense of people actually can then just kill people for whatever reason, for looking at them wrong. You know, it's justified. You know, when you go like beyond Russia, everything's fine, everything's like legal, and then when you go to the European countries, everything's illegal, even breathing. You know, and then when you go to America, they've kind of found that kind of balance in some states, and in some states they're still a bit excessive because they've got the overflow.
In California.
So the thing is,
anyway.
do you think the kids should be? I mean, just remember the guy's 20 years old. Okay, he's the same age as Jake Paul when Jake did the suicide shit. Okay, or even Logan Paul when he set the pool on fire. You know, so the thing.
Jake didn't do the suicide shit.
I mean, the thing is, it's not the same level of crime. And them two are not even getting done for anything. This kid's facing 2 years in prison for just feeding fucking toothpaste and Oreos, for God's sake. I mean, is there something wrong here?
Don't fucking give the kid, just give him like a ticket or some shit. Don't fucking send him to jail. What the fuck? This dude fucking like, I'm not gonna be fucked up, but in a way, those Oreos helped him because it made his breath smell good, or at least a little bit.
I mean, the thing is, do you
But
think the homeless guy is
2 fucking
exaggerating
years,
this?
for sure. Well, most of it no, because like you're not supposed to eat toothpaste. But the part where he said he was in fear for his life, come on, man, you're fucking 50 something or 40 something. You're in a
I,
fear for your life for a kid that's you fucking Oreos.
I mean,
Like that's bullshit,
he
man.
ate 5 of them. Okay, he ate 5 Oreos. You'd think after eating one, you'd realize there's a bit of a
Yeah,
weird taste to it, right?
yeah. Especially if it's
And
toothpaste, because it's like so minty.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, 30,000 euros. That's like $37,000.
Jesus,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
that's the kind of money they want to take out of this kid.
Just fucking make them pay the money you make for the video. Just make it be 2,000 euros. What the fuck? They fucking quadrupled that shit.
I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that happens over in the European countries. Is you
Like,
step
oh,
out of
I
line
threw
once
up. I'm like,
and they
you
really
fucking
want to
eat
fuck you.
trash, bruh. This is over here complaining about how he threw up because of Oreos. He eats trash. Like, get
Well,
over
I'll add
it.
a couple of
It's
comments.
fucking Oreos.
I mean, obviously, Dazed Out TV says that he needs a whooping. So, obviously, Dazed feels that the guy being homeless, he shouldn't be victimized. And we spoke about being a victim earlier on, you know, with the whole Mickey Mouse hat thing, the new Disneyland hat thing. Is this kid using a vulnerable person for his own personal views? And not actually thinking morally. And it comes back to this really big question of morality. You know, what is the moral righteousness? Is he doing the right thing or is he doing the wrong thing? You know, this is the thing. You know, is this is the only way I can explain it. Is if he is doing something, is it harmful to do this kind of thing, or is it like something which can be overlooked as just it's the same thing when you get hobos to fight. I mean, you get this in America, I'm sure, you know, where they get 2 homeless people to fight each other for a bottle of drink or for some smokes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you know, it's called hobos, and they fight. But the thing is that taking advantage of the yeah, exactly, and is that taking advantage of people who are disadvantaged to do things which is morally
exactly. That's the thing I don't get. Like, yeah, because they do that, but then like, so they do that and they physically hurt each other, and they take advantage of them. But he feeds him fucking Oreos, and they're like, "Nah, fam, 2 years plus $30,000. You fucked, fam." And it's like, but you have people out here that be paying hobos to fight each other and possibly kill one another, and they're just like, "Ah, fuck it, it's fine."
I mean, the thing is, I mean, fine. I mean, we can say the sort of punishment is excessive, but can we agree, like, maybe the immorality is there? Like, he shouldn't be taking advantage of a homeless guy who obviously maybe doesn't eat regularly, doesn't, you know, get to clean himself regularly and stuff like that. He shouldn't be taking advantage of the fact that he's in that position, especially in a country like Spain. You know, that's where he's from. I think it's from Barcelona.
He shouldn't.
You know,
you shouldn't take advantage of homeless people, period.
Exactly, and I think this is where I think they're just trying to make it such a severe sentencing that it would put anyone else off from doing something similar. Because I think, you know, unless they curb it, you know, like they say so many times, don't swat YouTubers or don't swat live streamers, but people get swatted all the time. And I think, you know, it's trying to create the punishment which is so severe that people are too scared to do that kind of stupidity because, you know, they don't learn from minor sort of punishments. Like if this kid just got slapped on the wrist and said, don't do it again, everyone else would be like, oh, well, he got away with it, basically. let's all do it because he got like over 2 million views on his video.
Yeah.
What do you think, Exodus?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I feel like if that actually is the reason, then that feels like it would be I feel like that would do good for like everybody because it shows like, okay, if we fuck with them, then there's gonna be consequences. But if we actually like just give them money and just walk away, that'll be fine because you're not doing anything to harm them. But the way, yeah, they have to explain more why they did it. They can't just say, oh, it's because of this. But if they actually come out and say that it's because it's to like show everybody a lesson, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it's still like, I don't know.
I mean, I think
not,
personally,
like, right now for them, it's kind of like a he said, she said.
I mean, the thing is, me personally watching the. No, I mean, the thing is, there's evidence of him doing it, but because obviously there's the video. But the thing is that
the video.
Me personally, seeing this, I mean, it's excessive. Don't get me wrong. I do feel like the guy's a little bit unlucky, but in the same breath, being a creator myself, I know that there's a line I shouldn't go beyond, you know, and that's why my videos, I guess, stay within a certain realm. I don't push the boundaries out because I know in myself it's wrong to try and do those things. Yes, it would generate more views. Yes, the channel would grow more quickly. Yes, I would become prolific on the site. But morally, I know I'd get a lot of backlash because people would be like, this kid is fucking insane. And especially the fact that so many YouTubers now and content creators are getting slammed left, right, and center with really hefty sort of fines or shit's going down, you know.
Yeah.
You like to a point where it's like you can't do this kind of stuff because it's wrong. Because morally you know it's wrong. So then if you do it, yeah, it's just toothpaste. The guy's not going to die from it, but that I think what they're trying to show is that no one else should attempt this, because I think the problem is people have a tendency of, like, I think they've taken this from this stance of what happened with Tide Pods. Okay, if you guys remember what happened with Tide Pods, where kids were eating laundry detergent as a challenge. Yeah, okay, they were inflicting that on themselves, fine, but it was very dangerous. And I think they're just trying to stop these kind of trends from taking off by saying, look, you do something really stupid like that. Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah, you should just get a slap on the wrist, but we're going to give you a 30,000 euro fine and put you in prison for 2 years, just so no one else does it, because people are stupid. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm seeing it. Days.TV commented, if you think about it, if I was the homeless person, if you're offering me Oreos, I'm trusting you and thanking God that someone gave me food. But you're tricking a homeless person for views. Pretty messed up in my eyes. So I guess in that respect, I completely agree with what Daisy's saying, and I'm sure Exodus feels the same way, that we shouldn't be taking advantage of anybody, whether you're homeless, whether you're not homeless. We should be morally, and we should be fair with everybody. We should be we should be treating people as we would want to be treated. If we would want someone to feed us toothpaste, fine, you're free to feed other people toothpaste, but you got to get fed the toothpaste first. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, the thing that really has shocked a lot of people is the kind of fine and time that's going to be served for this kind of crime. But they have got a law in Spain, which is to do with, let me just read it out again for you guys. There is a law out there, which is, oh, where the fuck's it gone? I'm just trying to find it. It's called crime against moral integrity. So that is an actual crime that you can actually commit in Spain. So bear that in mind if you're ever in Spain and you feel morally wrong to do something against someone else. You might get done quite severely for it. Exodus, anything you want to add to this little topic?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay, if anybody else is watching us, please drop your comments down below if you've got anything you want to say about the current topics, the topics before, or the topics to come. If you're watching us on recorded, on playback, please drop your comments down below. I'd love to read what your opinion is. What do you think? Was this kid, is he the douchebag of the day? It feels like the douchebag of the week for me. But, and is the fine too excessive? Is the sentencing too excessive? Or do you think it's right that they give such a hefty fine, such a hefty sentence? I mean, he's not been found guilty of anything yet. He's still going to trial. But do you think that it should be this hefty because he's taken advantage of a homeless person? And we don't want this kind of stuff to start trending so that more and more people start making videos like this for those fucking views. Let me know in the comments down below. And we'll move on to the last and final story. That's right. Fortnite, everybody. People want me to play. People want me to stream it. But now it looks like you could even become a university graduate. That's right. A university is giving scholarships to top Fortnite players. That's right. A Midwestern university wants to recruit the nation's best Fortnite players for its varsity esports team, and it's throwing out the dough to bring on some quality talent. Ashland University in Ohio will embrace the feverishly popular Battle Royale title into its competitive esports program, which it will officially launch this fall. Fortnite will join the team's current competitive title teams: League of Legends, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, and Rocket League. Interested gamers can hit up this form to apply to the program. Fortnite appeals to both the core and casual gaming audience. The school's esports head coach Josh Bushman said in a release, "We're excited to provide this platform for gamers who want to showcase their skills in a more competitive space. Fortnite facilitates an environment that allows players to get creative, innovative, and show off their mastery of their skills." Admission in the school's undergraduate program with room and board on the Ashland campus goes for $31,284 full price. So the $4,000 scholarship offers a nice incentive, but this is probably best for people who have other reasons to go. Ashland University in Ohio as well. The embrace the title has already received from the gaming community is pretty noticeable. It's one of the most streamed titles on gaming sites, and there are millions of people playing concurrently. So, basically, it's $31,000 for a full membership board and program to this particular university to get onto this scholarship, and they're going to give you $4,000 off. So that brings it down to about $27,000 a year, which... no, sorry, $27,000 for the whole term, for the whole of the course. To be honest with you, I mean, them even having this in place shows how massive Fortnite has become, and how I don't understand why when I stream it, the views are just plummeting off the edge. I just don't know. But the thing is, one thing is incredible, is how massive this game has actually become. I mean, Fortnite is incredible, and I just want to pass this question off to you guys, for those of you who are watching us live and those of you who are watching us on playback. If you are an infamous Fortnite pro player and you live in Ashland, Ohio, why don't you head over to the university? They're giving out free scholarships. Well, it's not free, but you know what I mean. You get it for $27,000 because you're a pro Fortnite player. You can join their esports program. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's insane. But it's also absolutely fascinating. I just find it absolutely incredible that the gaming world is so huge that they're actually giving away scholarships to people to be able to play the game at pro level, and you can study as well at the same time. Exodus D, did they have this kind of scholarships when you were going to school, young man?
They might have, but I didn't really look much into scholarships, to be honest.
I mean, what do you think about this whole? I mean, what do you think about Fortnite? I mean, gaming in general as a scholarship to get into. I mean, obviously we have got the sports like basketball, football. You know, you've got all you got the soccer teams as well now, but computer games. Okay, it's a fucking computer game.
Yeah.
Does it get the same sort of status? Does it get that same entry level?
I mean, nowadays with the new generation coming up, I feel like the computer games are gonna be more popular than like the traditional sport. In a way, for like the kids growing up.
So you suggesting that gaming is becoming more popular than traditional sports? Is that because it's safer than traditional sports, and then those kids that aren't very sporty can still feel sporty?
Yeah.
Because obviously computer games are played with the mind and with the hands, and not with actual physical.
Yeah, it's more.
You don't need to physically exert yourself to play a game.
I mean, you could, but you have to hit a desk really hard to hurt yourself.
I don't know. Try losing Fortnite, matches like 15 in a row, and talk to me about smashing shit up. But you can get pretty violent.
I mean, you're used to it though.
I don't want to be used to it, but I am kind of used to it. I know, but the thing is, I mean, scholarships out of games. I mean, do you think it's taken away from people being more ambitious? Like you got the scholarships for the football program, you got the scholarships for the baseball program and the soccer programs. Do you think by introducing these kind of programs into universities, gaming programs, is it not making people think that, oh, you know what, you don't need to, because obviously scholarships are normally there to help people who are disadvantaged, those who don't have, to kind of get into university, to be able to get a degree or get some education behind them, like higher education to help them when they have to get to work. I mean, you imagine if you finish this graduate program and you're a young graduate, you got to get a job, and you send your CV in, and it says on there, went to Fortnite University. I mean, how seriously are you going to take the guy?
Yeah, sure. No one's really gonna take you if you say, "Oh yeah, I went to university to play a video game." They'll be like, "How does that relate to the job?" Like, it doesn't. But can I still get one? They'll be like, "Nah, fuck out of here."
I mean, it's not like a like with the thing with like the sports programs, a lot of those players sometimes they lead on to playing professionally. They're not really relying on their graduation of their education as such. It's their full. That's the net, just in case they don't make it.
Yeah, that's like their fallback.
But the thing is, I mean, we've already spoken about this on the podcast before. I think on last week's program. Fortnite has got an expiry date. It's not like CS:GO. And League of Legends, which has been able to just grow and grow and grow. I think, I do feel, even me playing Fortnite, I feel like all I'm waiting for is that win. Once I get that win, I can't see this being.
Retire.
I mean, I don't know how people I mean, I understand there are a lot of people who are massive Fortnite fans and they play Fortnite every day and whatever, but just my streams alone has given me the sort of forecast of what will happen with this game, and that it will just die because there's either too many people streaming it, not enough people playing it, or the people that are playing it who are good at it are so concentrated that you just, I mean, I find the game now extremely difficult to get to the end because there's so many good players that I feel like I'm fucking dumb. And most of these players are like fucking 10 or 11. You know, they're children who are raping me in the game. So, you know, I mean, you imagine being an 11-year-old or a 10-year-old and your mom and dad says to you, you know, what do you want to be when you're older? I want to go to university and study Fortnite. I mean, that's like 8 years away, you know, or 9 years away. I mean, really, I mean, are we really saying that this graduate program is going to be available in 8 years' time? I don't think it's going to be available in 8 years' time. I don't see Fortnite doing, I think Fortnite's going to do maybe 2 years and it's going to be done. What do you think, Exodus?
I mean, yeah, if it's like anything like most games, it's gonna be gone in like a couple years, as you said, because most games, and it's gonna get to the point where like they don't have any more ideas to like add stuff, and then once they stop adding stuff, it's gonna be like complete, just like boring for people, because like I remember a time when they used to have a weekly update, but now they just never update it, and people are just gonna get bored of it and just say, "Fuck it, I'm done." And
I mean, they've done a new update for season.
game.
They've done a new update for season 4, which is made the game a bit more fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's made it put a new dynamic on the game. But the thing is, I'm just, you know, it's not a game like GTA5, which the things that they do on GTA is people go back and play it. They go back and play it. They go back and play it. Like we play it on a weekly basis, and
there's so much shit to do.
And the streams do well every single week. I'd never look at one of the Saturday or the Sunday streams and think, what a waste of time that was. You know, but the Fortnite streams, you know, they went from like mad high numbers, and it just nosedived like in an instant. The next time I streamed it, it was a complete nosedive, which is really bizarre. It's totally weird. I don't understand it.
It's
but
probably because you're not winning.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I need to be a winner. Maybe in that kind of genre of gaming, you've got to be
play with like ninja and shit.
Yeah, I've got to be a ninja player.
You need
I've got to be like
ninja,
you know. Not only have I got to get like 30 kills, I've also got to be the victory royale as well. You know, until I get to that level, I don't need to. I shouldn't stream that game full stop. I don't know. But obviously, you know, I mean, the question that I've got to pass off to you guys is, what the hell are we doing? Is this? Are we being serious? I mean, if could you imagine if you are of the age to go to university, will you be able to go to university? And
for too long.
You've just done the wrong thing. You've just muted yourself. Why did you do that for? That's so bizarre.
I'm sorry. If I go on an app for too long on my phone, it just kicks me out of any comments.
Wow, no, the Discord chat just went. It just muted you, so I could hear you talking, but you couldn't hear me talking. That was quite funny.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
you know,
yeah,
I mean,
DM Ninja.
Be a ninja. There you go. Be a ninja, and you. I mean, I wonder if Ninja's going to take the itself up. Oh, right. Yeah, I will.
Okay,
I will. I'm gonna have to get him. I'm gonna have to get in touch with Ninja. Get him to come and play with me. Help me, dude. Help me win.
Anyway.
I mean, I'll pass the question off to you guys. If you're a university person, if you're about to go to uni, or if you have just been to university, would you have taken this graduate program? Would you have done this graduate e-sport program for Fortnite? I don't know. University was a long time ago for me, but even if this was on the table, I would have probably said no. And secondly, is this gonna last long enough for it to be a proper graduate program, or is Fortnite on its way out? Let me know in the comments down below. It is a massive gross game. I mean, I think it's done like $293 million or something ridiculous. But still, they say good things can't last forever. Am I right, Exodus? Things can't last forever?
Not all good things last forever.
There you go. Anyway, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody. Days Out TV said, low key, this game needs to die, lol. And Days Out TV also put in the comments section, is there any way the podcast can be a little later next week? I want to join next podcast for sure. If I do it any later, I have to go to sleep. So the problem is I've got work tomorrow and I need to do the podcast at a certain time. So that's why it's at the time that it is, unfortunately. That's just my schedule. So we'll be back again next week with more podcasts at the same time. Be here. Massive shout out goes out to the guys for joining us over at youtube.com. We got Days Out TV, obviously, over there. Also, we have Brian Lloyd up in the joint. We had Benwick Jean. We had Furious Alexia Garcia. Mr. Woodworth, as always, over there. And not forgetting ZentTM and Elijah James. Thank you very much for joining us over at youtube.com. And over at twitch.tv, we got the infamous Spade 809 electric Carlagon board. Spade 80. Oh, I said Spade already. Electric skateboard. And not forgetting a few other people who I can't remember. Fresh Prince and Slow Cool, Nbayo, Real VIP King. And that was everybody. Thank you very much for joining us over there, guys. As always, awesome to have you guys on the stream, as always. Don't forget, guys, if you're watching us live, please be sure to drop your comments on any topic that you've seen us today. And if you're watching us on playback, drop them anyway, because I read them afterwards. Also, not forgetting the infamous sponsors before we go out. We've got the infamous Cinch Gaming, CD Keys, and not forgetting Razor.com. Be sure to go check out the merch store. We have got currently free shipping worldwide. It starts on the 4th and finishes on the 7th of May. So be sure to jump in there before you run out of time. Also, not forgetting the guys over at twitch.tv. We've got g2a.com over there. Keeping it alive with his AAA titles. And obviously not forgetting G4G and Streamlabs taking care of all of those donations. Thank you. But that's pretty much it. This is where we're going to end today's podcast. We'll be back, hopefully, fingers crossed. Keep your toes crossed as well. Maybe even keep your arms crossed somehow. Keep them all crossed, because we'll be back, hopefully, tomorrow with GTA 5 live on the PS4. Be here, sure to be here or be square. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got fantastic races for you guys to jump in on. So be sure to join us on tomorrow's podcast, on tomorrow's GTA 5 Sub-Me Saturday live stream. We're going to be here late, guys, so be sure to join me tomorrow. We should be starting up about 9 o'clock, I think. So I will see you guys tomorrow on that. But until then, guys, as always. Hold on. Before I go, we've got to do a round of applause, everyone. That's right. Round of applause to my guest on today's podcast, Exodus D, everyone.
Anytime, brother.
So hopefully you guys will join us next week.
Like, is he gonna mention me?
I nearly forgot, Exodus. I'm not joking. I haven't done this in a week. Okay, this is what happens. I'm losing my touch. Exactly. I'm losing my touch. Anyway, how's the new place? Is the new place good?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Exodus he's got internet as well, guys, so he'll be joining us hopefully this weekend. But that's pretty much it. This is where we're going to end it. I will see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. But until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and peace.
And peace.